Hi, this is Aishi Jain on TubesWiki. Welcome to a course on Git Fundamentals. This is chapter 12 where we are going to learn how to fetch from remote repository. So let's get back to our previous directory Git Fundamentals. This is a local repository, so if we check git remote-v here, it won't generate any result since it don't have any remote repository yet. So let's first add a remote repository for this. The command to add a remote repository is git remote add, and the name of the remote repository you want to give. I am giving origin and the address. So it's added. Now if we check git remote-v here, see it is showing that we have a remote repository called origin with this address. Now if we take a look at our remote repository, you see it has these three files. And if you go to this particular file, you see it is showing editing my third file, editing it again and again. And now if we take a look at our local repository, you see there is a third file and it is showing editing my third file and then editing it again. So now let's fetch the data from our remote repository. Git fetch is the command for that, and then you have to write the remote repository name from which you want to fetch. You can create multiple remote repositories and give them different names while you're adding, like git remote add, and you can add any other name here and can create a remote repository with that name. And then you can fetch the data from that remote repository by using git fetch command and the remote repository name. So it has fetched the data from origin, which is my remote repository. So here you see master is my local repository and origin master is my remote repository. So now I have to merge files between them. So the command for that is git merge. And I want to merge from origin master to master. So you see it is showing that auto merging my third file has failed because there is some conflict which it can't resolve automatically. So let's see the file. So now if you open the file, you will see it is showing some signs. I'm not going into the detailing of this merging part because we will cover this in another tutorial. For time being, just understand this, that from this sign to this sign, this is the part which is in my local repository, and from this to this is from my origin master. So it is showing that my local repository has this data while my remote repository has this data. So let's go with the remote repository one, and I'm editing my file and saving it. And now if you do a git status, you see it is showing that I have modified my third file. So let's add that and commit that. Now if you see the status, it's showing me we are on the branch master and there's nothing to commit. So that's how you create a remote repository and then fetch from it and then merge the remote repository with the local repository. But there is one more command, git pull, which will make our work easier. We will cover that in our next tutorial.